India and UAE inked a historic free trade agreement on 18th February. The agreement will boost annual bilateral trade to $100 billion within 5 years of its adoption, up from about $60 billion currently. The Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement that covers a wide range of gains for both economies is all set to provide opportunities for business in both the countries as well as provide them an inroad to markets in West Asia and Africa. Hello and Namaste, I am Richa Dwivedi and you are watching NIJ Explained. The 880-page free trade agreement between India and UAE was signed by India's Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal and UAE's Minister of Economy Abdullah bin Toq Al Marri in New Delhi after barely 88 days of negotiation. This agreement is all set to boost trade ties between the two countries. The agreement covers areas including goods, services, rules of origin, customs procedures, government procurement, intellectual property rights, and e-commerce. It is set to reduce tariffs for 80% of goods and give zero duty access to 90% of India's exports to the UAE. India has given tariff concessions on gold exports to the UAE, while UAE has eliminated tariffs on jewelry exports from India. Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal stated that this agreement will boost the country's exports in a number of labor-oriented sectors including gems and jewelry, textiles, leather, footwear, sports goods, engineering goods and pharmaceuticals. CEPA will also generate 10 lakh jobs across these sectors. Annual exports worth about $26 billion from India that currently attract a 5% import duty in the UAE will benefit from this historic agreement. The CEPA is likely to come into effect by the first week of May since the process will take about 60 days. In this period, a series of business interactions will be held across India between businesses from both India and UAE. UAE is India's third largest trade partner after United States and China. Bilateral trade between the two countries stood at $43.3 billion as of 2020-21 and in 2019-20 before the pandemic. Trade between the two countries was estimated at $59 billion. India was the UAE's second largest trading partner in 2019 with bilateral non-oil trade valued at $41 billion. The UAE is the eighth largest investor in India, having invested $11 billion between April 2000 and March 2021, while investment by Indian companies in the UAE is estimated to be over $85 billion. The Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement is one of the biggest trade deals signed by the Modi government ever since it came to power in 2014. With pacts like these, the government aims to facilitate Indian industries' integration into global value chains. Negotiations on the CEPA began in September 2021. The deal found a major mention in the India-UAE virtual summit hosted by Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Deputy Supreme Commander of the United Arab Emirates Armed Forces and Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan that was held on the same day. Prime Minister Modi said, and I quote, "The agreement reflects the deep friendship, shared vision and the trust between the two countries, and it will usher in a new era in our bilateral economic relations." UAE is a valued strategic and trade partner for India. After the Modi government came to power in 2014, the trade ties between the two countries have come under a renewed focus. Prime Minister Modi first visited UAE in 2015, 34 years after the visit of Indian Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. And then Prime Minister Modi visited the country in 2018 and 2019, while the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi visited India in 2016 and 2017. Both nations have been constantly engaging in a bid to strengthen diplomatic ties. The export sector is gradually turning into one of India's biggest strengths. A massive trade agreement with a nation like the UAE will sustain its growth momentum. Both the countries have been pushing for FTAs with major players across the globe, thereby making them an attractive market for investments. Indian government with Prime Minister Narendra Modi at its helm has not just laid a roadmap to enable rapid growth but has also managed to take advantage of changing global dynamics that can be transformed into opportunities for the country. Hope you found this episode of NIJ Explained insightful. Do let us know in the comments below. Until next time, this is Richa Dwivedi signing off. Dhanyabad and Namaste.